This is going to be an adventure because basically I met this guitar about 20 minutes ago. I've been having our business this week, so I haven't really prepared or sung anything. And it's an ungodly hour to be singing godly music. But I'm going to try my best. I know I'm supposed to be telling stories and stuff, but I probably won't. I'll just smooth a little bit between songs. I feel so hot. Hold on, it is ungodly. My soul is so dry. I'm starting to rot, and I don't know why. The city's burning, people in pain. The children cry out about the cinders of rain. Moving in, cool winds blowing through, all eyes on the heaven, all thoughts turn to you. Feel such wonder and a slight hint of fear, scratch on my cheek. Is it my look I see her? The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain engulfs the world, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain cleanses the world, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. Soaked to the skin, I'm drenched to the bone. Dams bursting in, rivers overflow. Red waters are rising, oh I'm going down. Sinking love, God, I just wanna drown. The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain engulfs the world, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain cleanses the earth, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain engulfs the world, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. The Baba rain comes pouring down, and the Baba rain cleanses this sad world, and the Baba rain comes pouring down all over me. Baba rain, Baba rain, Baba rain. bonus souls out there. These three songs after that kind of encapsulate a 30-something year journey. It was just 31 years on October 18th, 31-year journey to Mayor Baba. The first song is from the height of the pain period. But even the pain period had some good stuff in it, right? And it's a sort of evolution from there. But this one is, some of you may know from I wrote it in 1988 when it was really a hard time. Which it's not anymore, which I'm very happy to say. But the love at the core of the song is what's important. Sometimes I wonder how I got here, walking beside you, standing so near to your love. Didn't happen so quickly. Started a long time ago, when I first laid eyes on you. I just didn't know about your love, but now I'm a soldier. I've been through so many wars, for so many battles, all for the cause of your love. How many years has this been going on? How many lifetimes have I been playing this song? How many tears have I shed in vain? How many lifetimes have we been playing this game all night long? And now I'm so tired, and now I'm so weak. Sometimes I question what it is I seek in your love, and I get so angry at what you do to my life. You cut it to ribbon when you stick in the knife of your love and scream at your picture. I curse and I roar, and I swear there are times, Lord, I don't want any more of your love. How many years has this been going on? How many lifetimes look in my eyes, I can't make a single demand of your love, and I follow you to the ends of the earth, to hell and beyond. I take birth after birth for your love. How many years has this been going on? How many lifetimes have we been writing this song? How many tears of love have I cried in your name? How many millions of lifetimes have we been playing this game? Oh my Lord, I don't know what's coming. I don't know what I missed. Past and future as all that exists is your love. How many lifetimes I'm always amazed that I don't get that last number. But then things got better, which actually things really shifted after I met my wife. It's true. Things got really, really good, and for a number of years, and then things got kind of bad again, but in a totally different way. I think all of us feel that as we walk through this one lifetime, we're walking through like many different lifetimes within this one lifetime, many incarnations. And I had a period where that's exactly what it felt like to me. I felt like I had some serious health problems which led to some other really strange stuff. And I felt like my soul was given the choice to either die, leave this body and get a new one, or die and be reborn in this body. Which is a pretty big choice. I chose to live and be in the same body, which I think was a good choice also. But I speak about it lightly, but it really truly was that for me. And it was a very, very painful thing that led to something, to an even better life than the good life that I had before, and into ever deeper joy. I'll say one thing. Through this period, I was sitting there bemoaning my fate at one point, which I know no one else in this room has ever done. And I was reading songs of Louise Hay book, if you know Louise Hay. Very positive, you know, and I was in such a positive, joy, you know. And which, of course, the joke was, that's what I believed in my heart, but I was in such a mood that I was blowing it off, and I saw Bob in my anxiety, and he just said, essentially, why not? Why can't it be easy? Why can't it be joyful? And he showed me a doorway, and he said, all you have to do is walk through this doorway, and it will change for you. And then he went, but you're going to have to leave me behind in order to do that. And I freaked out, because no matter how much I wrestled with him, I can't leave him behind. And he just paused and said, but I'll be waiting for you on the other side. And what that was the beginning of a new relationship. Just the way, like in a marriage or any relationship, you have to keep growing and changing. I can't have the same relationship with my father that I had when I was 19 or 30. You have to keep changing, and it gets deeper and more beautiful. And for me, what he keeps telling me over and over again, I think this is the third song, is that we're all so addicted to suffering. And we do that very well. The Baba community does suffering really, really well. I think it's its greatest skill. But and I don't know if that's a compliment either. But that the idea that we can grow just or more easily through joy than we can through suffering. That, we've done that. We got that down. Now let's learn to do it. Yeah, let's do it through joy. But first I had to go through this death and rebirth thing. And this song came out of that. I don't know how it goes. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. Some people gotta die in life, some people gotta get cremated, some people gotta pass the private season in hell. Some people gotta scream and weep, some people gotta beg for mercy, some people gotta bang the boss and get out of jail. And then it happens, oh, how it happens, like lightning. You're resurrected back in the world with some power that is almost frightening. And we're going over. That's the wrong thing. Hang on, I'm going. That's it. One more time. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. And then it happens, oh, how it happens so sweetly. The love he gave you while you were dead has transformed you so completely. I've been up, down, dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, down, dead, but I'm reborn again. I've been up, I've been down, I've been dead, but I'm reborn again and again and again. I think it's fun. So the third song of this trilogy is the one that focuses on joy. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And the past few years obviously are a real challenge if you're focusing on joy in your life, if you look at what's going on in our country and in the world. But I think that's part of the game, because he keeps telling us over and over again that it's just a dream. Bao had that great line, which is really interesting when he said this, because he's usually, oh, may hair stab me and throw me in a notion of pain. But this is when he said, it's all a dream, so why not make it a happy dream?
one that, eat ice cream was his line. And I think we all have a choice. It is a dream. One thing that I've seen over the years is that more time goes by, that it's not metaphorically a dream, it's literally a dream. I was in Myrtle Beach about a year and a half ago, and he gave me this glimpse of how much of a dream this really is. And I noticed I could poke my finger right through you. You're not there, really, and neither am I. There's no substance. The only thing that gives it substance is the love that he pours into the dream to us. Otherwise, there's nothing there. But it is a dream. Do some lucid dreaming and make it the most beautiful dream you can, and that's kind of what this is about, facing that challenge in a world that seems to tell you, no, this is real and it's terrible.
How many times must the camel's hump break? How many straws can it take? How many times must the swimmer go down? How many times must you drown? Suffering is overrated as a path to God. I'm getting so frustrated with the guns that are cocked, with the doors that are locked, with the weight on my back and the fear and the lack. Give me joy. How many lifetimes must come and then go? How many rounds do we know? How much death do we have to endure till we finally see that we're more? The cocoon is bursting. It's time to spread our wings. Oh, how my soul is thirsting for a way to believe, for a day to receive, for the man in the fire to rise up from the pyre. Give me joy. Give me joy. I have died and been to hell. I've been across that sea. But now it's time to live and live it well. And I don't want to play the old game the old way. No more suffering for me. I'm alive, I am free. Give me joy. Give me joy. How many times must the camel's hump break? How many times must the swimmer go down? Suffering is overrated as a path to God. I'm getting so frustrated. There's a way to believe, there's a day to receive, when the man in the fire rises up from the pie. Give me joy. Give me joy. Give me joy. Give me joy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to try something a little less hard on my vocal cords. This is a song I wrote for my daughter to wake her up for school in the morning. Anyway, like most kids, she doesn't want to get out of bed in the morning for school, and I don't blame her because I never wanted to get out of bed for school either. And so sometimes I would just grab the guitar and just sit on the edge of her bed and sing to her. And this song sort of formed itself. It's It's me singing to her, but it's also Mary Baba singing to us, I think, to wake us up into our lives as well. It's called It's a Beautiful Day. 7 a.m. You're snug in bed. Your mother and I sprinkle kisses on your head. You don't budge, but you smile. You're waiting for a song to make you go the extra mile. It's a beautiful day in every way. 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 Okay. Look into your eyes, I see the moons and sun, I see the joy that runs through the universe, and through your heart. It's time to start. Come on, babe, we can't be late. It's a beautiful day in every way. 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 Okay. Doesn't matter where you go or what you do, just keep the light of God's love pouring out of you, pouring out of you, pouring out of you, pouring out of you, pouring out of you in every way. It's a beautiful day. It's 7 a.m. You're stuck in bed. Your mother and I sprinkle kisses on your head. You don't budge, but you smile. You're waiting for this song to make you go the extra mile. It's a beautiful day in every way. 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 Because of you. Because of you. Because of you.
she get up? Did she get up after?
You know, really, the truth is, someone comes into your bedroom in the morning and sings to you, you're going to want to get up? Not really. You're going to lay there and wait for another song. See if I can get through this one. Sometimes I'd like to come back and do the same thing at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My voice is warmed up. This is the only song that I ever received in a dream. And the weird thing about the dream was I was in a bar, and Donald Sutherland, the actor, was sitting, he was playing in the bar, he was the entertainment in the bar. And he was playing this song about a melting pot on the top of the hill. And I woke up in the morning and I actually remembered the song. And sat down and started to figure it out. I don't know what the symbolism of Donald Sutherland is, but if anyone can help me figure that one out, that would be great. I'm not even particular, I don't dislike Donald Sutherland, but it's not like someone I ever gave a second thought to. But there must be some hidden mystic symbolism to Donald Sutherland. It's called Melting Pot.
There's a melting pot at the top of the hill, where the humans and the angels dance to find the truest will. I wanna be there. There's a melting pot at the top of the world, and the word is going out to every boy and every girl. I wanna be there. Some people say it's the end of the game. Some people say the world is just a sin. I don't believe it. Some people say that we're sinking in sin. Some people run from the heavenly feeling, and I don't believe it. There's a melting pot where there's no room for lies. God is looking out at you through every pair of eyes. I gotta be there. There's a melting pot where we're all into one, where the mother is the father is the daughter is the son. I gotta be there. Some people say that we're heading there soon. Some people say that it's higher than the moon. Going out to every boy and every girl, you gotta be there. There's a melting pot at the top of the hill, where the humans and the angels dance to find the truest will. You gotta be there. Some people say that we're heading there soon. Some people say it's higher than the moon. Do you believe it? Go there. I gotta go there. Go there.
I'm not sharing any royalties with Donald Sutherland, though.
Does Donald even play the piano?
I have no idea. It'd be weird if he actually did write the song. I just sort of picked it up in the ethers. This song, I guess this feeds off the whole joy thing. And the idea that if it's just a dream, we can make it whatever we want it to be, as long as we're in partnership with Him. I was in Myrtle Beach, where I tend to be twice a year, and I was leaving, and I stopped at the gateway to pay, and Rosalie, they used to live here, yeah, was in the gateway, and she had a present for me, and it was a picture frame in the shape of a stop sign, with Bob's picture in the middle. And first I looked at it and I said, stop! And I'm thinking, this is not the message I want in my life right now. I don't want to stop. I want to keep going, and I want to plow through it, and I want to do everything that I want to do. And then I looked very carefully, and on the one side of the stop was UN, un, and on the other side was an ABLE. So it wasn't a stop sign, it was an unstoppable sign, which I thought was just the coolest thing and exactly what I needed. So I got home and I was in the shower one day and started singing this song, and ran to the piano and figured out the rest of it. And I'd like to say it was really complex, but it ended up being just an old 50s chord pattern, but it's a really fun song. It's called Unstoppable. And if there's a sax player in the room, there's going to come a point where we need a good saxophone solo. Saxophone solo, so I need some help now. He stopped me. I can fake my way through it. Nothing gonna get in my way. Hold on.
You need that sax solo again.
Get in my way.
That's basically the song. An unstoppable man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we need some doo-wops in the background. We'll take a 5-minute break. In your divine wine soaks through my mind, leaves no trace on the breath every day, every day, every day. Beside me. Every day you take my hand, I feel your loving touch. Every day you kick and kiss and curse and coo and guide me. What did I do to deserve you? Your grace is just too much. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. It's not about being good or bad. It ain't about going insane, oh man. It's just about keeping close to you. In everything I think and say and do. Every day I look at you and my gratitude is boundless. Every day I look at you and thank my lucky stars. Every day you talk to me and all your words are soundless. No pain or gain, sunshine or rain can touch the truth we are. Every day, every day, every day. After that last note, my voice will be gone forever. Let's see if we can get through this one. If I remember. It's getting better all the time. You used to get mad in my school. I can't complain. Teachers that taught me weren't cool. Holding me down, turning me around. got 2 more in me before I'm shot. I don't mean shot, I just mean shot.
Takes care of you. Hey, oh, joy, love. Hey, oh, joy, and a lot of love. Joy, and a lot of love. Hey,
Two glasses.
This is the last one, and I will try desperately to go through it. When Lois called me, she said, "Well, you're going to talk about how you came to Bob," and I went, "No, I'm not." And, but this song, which was like 30 years in the making, kind of tells that story. The original version was written like in 1976 or something, but the first part talks about being 17 and living in Brooklyn and being totally screwed up and taking too many drugs and searching for God and happily getting the right door open so that I ended up here instead of dead. And then it kind of segues into my first trip to India, how that really transformed my life in another completely different way, so we'll see how this one works out. It was dawn in the streets of Manhattan. It was dark in the streets of my soul. We were waiting for something to happen. We were scouring the sidewalks for gold. Oh, that gold. Oh, that gold. When the man flashed his light in our faces, I was shaking and Bobby was shook. We were handcuffed and put through our paces. In the wink of an eye, we were bucks. Oh, we were bucks. Oh, we were bucks. They phoned my house, my mother fell down on the floor. I nearly fainted when they slammed that steel door. Didn't think we would make it. 16-year-old kid can't fake it. Didn't think we would make it, make it, make it, make it. Oh, no. Up on there by hell, everybody's dancing to the God-man's will. We're gonna keep on dancing there until he steps right out to give us all a thrill. Up on Mirabai Hill, up on Mirabai Hill, yeah. I was lost in the ozone in Brooklyn. I was lost in the caves of my mind. It was scary, but I kept right on looking, and the sights that I saw made me blind. Oh, I was blind. Oh, I was blind. Demons caressed me and my brain stripped to the floor. I knocked and pounded till he opened up that door. Didn't think we would make it. Came down hard with no strength to make it. Didn't think we would make it, make it, make it, make it. Oh, no. Up on Mirabai Hill, everybody's dancing to the God-man's will. Gonna keep on dancing there until steps right out to give us all a thrill. Up on Mirabai Hill, up on Mirabai Hill, yeah. Everybody told me the time had come to pack up my karma and fly away. Too many lifetimes on the run. Bought a ticket, New York to Bombay. so hard in the morning, beaten down, brain fried and half dead. And then India came without warning. Strange new world overwhelming my head. When I finally crawled in the samadhi, I just didn't know what I would find. Then His light permeated my body. Then His sweetness penetrated my mind. Oh, my mind. Oh, my mind. Don't know how long I was laid out on the floor. To the way the love wafted me right out that door. Right then I knew I would make it. With long hair you don't have to fake it. Then I knew I would make it, make it, make it, make it. Oh no. Up on there about hell, everybody's dancing to the Godman's will. We're gonna keep on dancing there until He steps right out to give us all the thrill. Up on there about hell, up on there about hell, up on there about hell, up on there about hell. This is the note I gotta really work for. Thank you very much. The one thing I'll say about, I've been working in the comic book business for 25 years. I started out as a musician, and I was doing music, and I was also doing rock music journalism for a while. And at one point I was doing some work for Rolling Stone, actually, and I learned a great lesson about being a critic. I wrote a review of a Grateful Dead album for Rolling Stone, and I had an issue with the Grateful Dead. Not really with the Grateful Dead, but with my former wife and all the people that I knew that were into the Grateful Dead. So I wrote this really smug, obnoxious review, and I got, like a couple of weeks after it came out, Rolling Stone sent me this package full of letters from people that had read the review, and it wasn't that they were angry, it was that they were heartbroken. It was like as if I'd written something about their mothers. You know, why did you say that about Jerry? You know, that kind of thing. And I learned a really valuable lesson. A is that, you know, I'm sitting at home at a typewriter and I'm just some schmo like everybody else, but when you put it in print, people take it very seriously. But more importantly, it was that I don't want to be the guy that's sitting around criticizing people. I want to be the guy that's doing the creative work and being appreciated or criticized. I'll take them both, and I've had them both. You know? And that was right around the same time I started doing comics. So since then I've been a storyteller first and foremost. I'm very opinionated, but I never want to put an opinion in print again. But the fun thing about working in comics has been that I've got to weave Mayor Baba into things over the years. The first time I ever did that was just in a little dedication. I did a graphic novel called Moonshadow, which was the first fully painted, there's comic books and there's graphic novels, which is a much more pretentious name for a very long comic book. The first fully painted graphic novel in America, and when it came out, I dedicated it to Baba. And I had another graphic novel called Into Shambhala, which I also dedicated to Baba. So on that trip to India that I was just singing about, although I've been with Baba, I think for 14 years, it was my first trip to India. And 1987, yeah. Did I say that right? Okay. Or are you a mind reader?
I was listening to some E7 tapes and it came up.
So long story short, I'm like this, the ugly American goes abroad is how I felt. And you all know the ordeal of the flight and the trip, and I can never sleep on an airplane, plus I never sleep for like a day before I go anywhere. So by the time I got there, I was totally fried. But I got to Frankfurt, Germany, and we go to switch planes, and I look around and I go, oh my God, they're all Indians. I was like shocked. We're going to Bombay, and it was a big surprise to me. These were all Indian people, except for a few Westerners there. And I think, oh, maybe they're going to Maribad. That's a stupid thought. Why would they be going to Maribad? I noticed this one couple and this girl with a big floppy hat. And we get on the plane, and I'm like the last one on the plane, going up this little walkway outside, and it starts to pour on me. Everyone else is driving. This was the beginning of the Baba Rain for me, and which I always take as a blessing, really, not as any problem. And then we fly on this. We go from Frankfurt to Bombay, and I get off the plane, and it's like, well, I could go to one of the hotels, or I could just go direct to the domestic airport and sit there all night, which is, of course, the stupider choice, and that's what I did. So I went there, I sat there all night, writing feverishly in my journal, and then the morning comes for this plane, and then here is this group of little Westerners, going on the same plane with me. I think, I wonder, no. We get on the plane, and this guy actually sits down right next to me, and he's taking pictures, and it's raining. He's taking pictures with the rain. So I create this story in my head that he's a photographer on photo assignment in India, And without giving away too much of the story, he saw me sitting there with a Baba button on his bag, and he decided that I was a Rajneesh guy in disguise. So we didn't talk to each other. The only Westerners on the plane, we don't say a word to each other. We get to Pune, and I go to the Hotel Blue Diamond. This is very embarrassing to admit, but I'll admit it anyway. So I get there, and I didn't bother to make a reservation in advance, and it was racing season. There were no room at the inn. So I'm like, I haven't slept in 3 days now, and I go and I sit down to get something to eat, and I am so jet-lagged and tired that I open the menu. This is the embarrassing part. And I see scrambled eggs, $12. Juice, $6. Well, they're trying to rip. Of course, it was all in rupees. But I was so spaced out, I decided they were just trying to rip me off, so I left without eating anything. Is that lame or what? And I go on to Maribad. But I'm a day early, so there's no room at the inn there either. So they send me on to Belu's, which was good because they fed me and put me to sleep, which was all I needed. And the next day I get up, I go to Maribad, I settle in, I go up to the tomb. And when I got in the tomb, I heard this music. And then I go back, I'm in one of these double rooms, just me and one other person, and I go into the room, and the guy walks in who's my roommate, and it's this guy that's been traveling with me from Frankfurt to Bombay, and he had gone to the hotel that I didn't go to in Bombay, and he was at the Hotel Blue Diamond the night I didn't get in, and then he gets there, and he's my roommate. Well, that's funny enough as it is, And then he starts to unpack, and he unpacks his socks, and he unpacks his underwear, and he unpacks Moonshadow, and he unpacks Into Shambhala.
Oh my God.
And it was as if someone had taken a picture, of my mother out of their bag. And I very calmly said, "What are you doing with that? Where did you get that?" So what it turned out was this is a guy named Bill Gibson from Denver, and there was some comic book fan in Denver who had seen these, written to Erich, and Erich said, "Oh, send them over." And it just so happened that he gave it to Bill, and it just so happened that Bill traveled the whole way with me, and it just so happened that Bill was sitting in the room with me. But the real gift of the whole thing was that, especially at that point in my life, I was very withdrawn, I was very shy, I was not going to kind of come out into the Baba world at all. But the story of the miracle of the comic book spread. And by my first day in Marizad, I'm standing there with my arm around Erich holding a comic book posing for pictures, So it was a great greeting, for me to do that. And after that, I began to purposely weave Baba into the stories more and more. I did a series called Dr. Fate for DC Comics in the late 80s and early 90s. And Baba became a character in that one, and he was showing up. And just so was Jack Small, in fact, was a character. And he was quite a character. And there, one story was, I heard from a friend of mine who had a Baba lover friend who was a teacher. And she said one of her students came in one day who was really into comic books and wanted to show her his comics. And she was not, and she flips open this comic and there's a full-page picture of Mayor Baba staring her in the face. And so she said, "Oh my God, this is something I'm supposed to tell this kid about Baba," which she did. And he ended up going to India and for this comic book. And I did another comic book series called Seekers into the Mystery, where Baba was also a character, and they would call him the magician in that one. And I was working with an artist on that. He was a very passionate, thinking artist. And he had heard about my Baba stuff. He said, because he's going to be drawing this stuff, I mean, what can you tell me about this Baba guy? So I sent him a few books. Can you send me some more books? I sent him some more books. Can you send me a tape? I want to see this guy move. I sent him a tape, and within like a week, he was a Baba lover. It was the weirdest thing. And I said to myself, now that this guy is a Baba lover, this series is going to be canceled. Because, you know what I mean? Because it didn't matter how many thousands of copies, it was all to get this one guy. And it was canceled very shortly thereafter. But I heard stories from a couple of other people that just were picking up this comic. This other guy was in Arizona somewhere. He was a fan of my work, and he was walking around somewhere, and he saw Baba's picture for a meeting up on a lamppost somewhere. That's the guy from Seekers. And he went to this meeting, and he became a Baba lover, you know? So I consider that incredible grace. I take no credit for it. I'm just the dummy in between, you know? But that, you know, if it happened to one person, what an incredible thing that is. It's worth printing 200,000 copies or 1 million copies for that one soul. I think I'm done talking now.